So Andrew, coming into this game, coming off a pretty big win against a team that we thought would be a lot tougher to play against, the Goffstown Grizzlies.
That's right, Harry. Bedford went to 3-0 last Saturday with that road win at Goffstown. Goffstown was first loss of the season for Goffstown. So Bedford really off to a great start so far with that home and opener to start the season over Wyndham 41-7. Then they go on the road. They shut out Concord 16-0. Beat the crosstown rival Goffstown Grizzlies 48-7. And now they've got their second game at home against Memorial, which has had a real tough couple seasons here, but they did win their season opener this year, 14-7 over Timberlane.
Yeah, I was going to say that they enjoyed being in first place for a week, tied with Bedford
for first, that's right,
with a 1-0 record. But that was their first win in 4 seasons.
That's right. Then they had a loss to Pinkerton 44-7 and Wyndham 35-7. So they come into tonight's action at 1-2. They are going to receive the opening kickoff. Ryan Babotis will kick off for Bedford, going right to left on your radio dial. Bedford in their home black uniforms. The Crusaders wearing white. And ball fielded just past the 20-yard line. And Bedford will stop the ball carrier just shy of the 35-yard line. That's number 12, Jacob Calabro, on the return. Harry, Bedford's defense has had an excellent start to the season, only giving up 14 points in 3 games, and they even scored 2 defensive touchdowns last week at Goffstown, so they get a chance here to make an early impression against the Crusaders.
Well, they've only given up on average 178 yards of offense per game.
First play is a handoff, sweep off the left tackle, and that's going to be a pickup of about 3.
Kai Colson with the carry there for the Crusaders, sweeping to his left. It'll be 2nd down and 7 from the 36-yard line.
Colson, a sophomore running back. The starting quarterback tonight for the Crusaders is number 9, Jeff Josevic. He is a junior, and he's going to go under center here to take the 2nd down snap. And there's another handoff, but it goes nowhere. That time it was Kyle Blaze with the carry, number 34. And Harry, Bedford's run defense is off to another hot start.
Memorial running out of a very tight pattern. They only had 1 receiver to the right, three people in the backfield. This time, though, they send out a receiver to the left, and I guess you could count 2 of those receivers, but they're set back a little bit. Quarterback is in the shotgun.
3rd and 5 here. It's a pass to the left flat, and it's completed, but that's going to be short of a 1st down as Bedford, with Ellie leading the charge, wraps up Kyle Blaze.
That was a play that got sniffed out early by the Bedford defense. It was a pass to the flat behind the line of scrimmage, and not a very good pass either. Blaze had to turn around and kind of adjust to the throw, and by that time, the Bedford defender was all over him, and he wound up losing a couple of yards on that play.
Crusaders opting to punt here, 4th and 6 from their own 37. And back to do the punt is John Charbonneau. He catches a high snap, gets his punt away.
And Sonny Ellie is the deep man, but he's not going to play it.
He watches it roll, and it comes to a stop at Bedford's 31-yard line. So a punt of 32 with a nice roll, and Bedford takes over for the first time at their own 31-yard line.
And we're going to get to see the Bedford offense here for the first time. They've been averaging 325 yards per game total offense, and quarterback play excellent. About 99% of the passes thrown by Michael, and the passing record for all the Bedford quarterbacks, mostly Michael, 32 of 56 for 344 yards.
Interesting change in the lineup for Bedford here to start. Aaron Scaling is split out wide to the right. He's a quarterback, but he's playing wide receiver tonight. Joe Michael in the shotgun. Michael and Scaling connected for a touchdown pass in the 2nd game of the season at Concord.
Looks like we've got a motion here on somebody, yes. Or no, it's the timeout by Bedford. Interesting.
Bedford was a little bit slow in getting organized on that first snap. So Coach Matthews calls timeout for the Bulldogs to avoid a 5-yard penalty. We're just underway here. 10:01 to play in the first quarter, no score.
No doubt Coach Matthews wanted to attack those penalty issues. That is one of the negatives that the Bulldogs have had this season. 21 penalties for 147 yards over 3 games.
Doing some quick math, that's 7 per game. Certainly a number that's higher than what Coach Matthews wants.
Well, most of those penalties were in the first game. That was a very sloppy game. They have been able to get those numbers down a bit.
So here we go again with the 1st and 10 snap. Michael drops back to pass, heaves it for Sanchez. He's got it over midfield, down past the 30, and he's finally brought down at the 26. So Bedford goes up top on the first play offensively tonight, and they connect on a big pass to Sanchez.
And that was a huge play there by Michael. He had number 44, Frankie Rodriguez, in his grill when he let that ball go. And Jacob Calabro was the defensive back on number 1, Solomon Sanchez, and he was all over him. I mean, there was very little room to thread the ball into, but Sanchez just high pointed the ball and came down with it and was able to gain a few more yards once he came down with the ball.
Catch and run goes for a total of 43 yards. And so now 1st and 10 for Bedford at the 26. There's a handoff to Mike Axton. He gets dropped right about the line of scrimmage. Mike Axton has really had a great start to the season rushing the ball. He's had 321 yards on the ground over the first 3 games.
Yeah, he's on pace for just shy of 1,000 yards this year.
Bedford, of course, has 9 games in the regular season. This year they have 4 home games and 5 road games. And there was an illegal shift there called against the Bulldogs, but the Crusaders decline it. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
And the Bulldogs pull away from the line of scrimmage for some reason. Now they're coming back. Get ready to set up here. They've got 4 receivers on this lineup, 2 on each side. Axton in the backfield, Michael in the shotgun.
Officially 2nd and 11 here from the 27. And there's a handoff to Scaling, running left. He cuts upfield, and he's got a 1st down, and he's going to be tackled out of bounds at about the 13-yard line.
Great vision by Scaling there, moving along the line of scrimmage. Those sweep plays, you're always looking for the seam to open, and he had the right look there, waiting for the opening for him to come, and he found that crease and exploited it for a 1st down.
Now 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs at the 13. Tough snap. There's a handoff to Sanchez, running left to right. He's going to be brought down at the 16-yard line, it looks like.
Sebastian Botello leading the pack of Crusader tacklers on that play.
Officially, that's going to be a loss of 2. So 2nd and 12 for the Bulldogs on their first possession, but they're in the red zone here with 8.5 to play in the first quarter. Michael working out of the shotgun again. He's going to give it to Axton running left. He's got a hole, but it closes quickly, and it's just a short pickup. Axton brought down at about the 13, so they're back to the original line of scrimmage here for 3rd and 10.
Mike Volette and Jovan Collier with the tackles there for Memorial.
Bedford continues with its no huddle offense that we've become accustomed to seeing this season. Michael gets the snap in the shotgun, looking right, now turns back to his left. That's intended for Green, but it's intercepted. The ball is slightly underthrown, and it's picked off in the end zone. So Bedford loses an opportunity here in the first quarter on their first drive.
Kyle Bokunevich with the interception. He was in perfect position. He was between the ball and the intended receiver. Got the hand up, came down with the ball. Might not have been the best throw for Michael to make there, but I think he was feeling kind of confident after threading the needle on the long pass play to Sanchez.
So big change in momentum there. And now with 7:47 to play in the first quarter, the Crusaders take over at their own 20. And Josevic pitches it out to Kai Colson running left. He gets around the corner and pushed out of bounds right at the 1st down marker.
Colson had some good blocking in front of him there as he was working toward the edge, and they did get a 1st down.
Ball marked right at the 30-yard line, so he just got the first down by inches, but it was enough. So Crusaders get their first down of the contest. Now 1st and 10 at their own 30. Josephic sets a man in motion. Now it's a counter coming back the other way, but Bedford quickly stops that run. That one was Cam Makara, number 24. So Memorial has already used 3 different ball carriers here in their first 2 drives.
Yeah, Jack Rogan for Bedford, along with a slew of other players, Solomon Sanchez and others, were in on that gang tackle, not being fooled by the counter.
Gain of 1 brings up 2nd down and 9 at Memorial's 31-yard line. Just over 7 minutes to play here in a scoreless first quarter. Undefeated 3-0 Bulldogs hosting the 1-2 Crusaders. Josephic now under center for the Crusaders. He hands it off to a man in motion, and he runs around to the right edge, and he's going to get a first down. That's the 4th ball carrier for Memorial, Bryce Cody, number 20. And Memorial having some success getting to the edge on this possession with their rushing game.
Zach Barnard had him caught in the backfield, but he was able to spin out of that tackle attempt before Alexander Zwickau brought him down after getting a first down yardage up to the 42.
So 1st and 10 now at the 42. And that's another handoff to Cody running left. But he stopped for a loss.
That was a great play there by Joe Leary. He caused Cody to change his attack. He had to go backwards a little bit because his path was blocked, and Leary just stayed with him, step for step, and just cut him off until he ran out of room and wound up taking a loss there.
That brings up 2nd and 13 at Memorial's 39-yard line. They've got to get across midfield to the 48 for a first down. Josephic drops back. He's looking downfield, and he throws one deep, but that's into double coverage. Sonny Ellie right there, and the ball drops to the turf, incomplete.
Yeah, and the intended receiver there, I believe, was Kai Colson on that play. You're right, he had coverage on either side. Kind of a tough play to make there, but no harm. They live to play another down, 3rd and 13.
Everything about that play looked good.
It was a nice throw.
The arm strength, the accuracy, just a little bit too long. So now on 3rd and 13, Josephic under pressure, rolling out to his right, and that's going to fall incomplete. He was about to get sacked, and he intended that pass for Kyle Blaze, but it came up short.
Torrey Helton was bearing down on him. That would make anybody run for their lives.
So 4th and 13 now for Memorial at the 39. They've got the punt unit out again. And so if you watch the season opener against Windham, in this situation, Windham was often going for it. They attempted to convert 4th down conversion 13 times. They're only successful 3 times, but Memorial a little bit more standard decision making so far with these punts. That one is high and short. It bounces at Bedford's 43 and goes out of bounds on the far sideline.
That's actually a good strategy on the part of Memorial. It's a high kick. Coverage team was in place, and it bounced out of bounds, really not giving Sonny Ellie a chance to return the ball. Ellie, of course, a very dangerous return man. Better to just let the ball be downed like it did on the punt before, or go out of bounds rather than take a risk in letting Ellie take it back to the house.
So that punt goes for a net of 16 yards as it bounced out of bounds on the far sideline. So now Bedford's going to take over at their own 45. 1st and 10 here, 5:45 to play. Michael hands it to Axton, straight up the middle, and he's brought down at the 49 after a pickup of 4, bringing up 2nd down and 6.
Frankie Rodriguez there with the tackle from Memorial, along with another gaggle of Crusaders closing in on Axton.
Bedford going with 4 wide receivers again here. Sanchez, Van Heerden, Scaling, and Green. Axton's in the backfield. Sanchez goes in motion. And there's a handoff to Axton again up the middle. This time he's going to fall forward past the 45 of Memorial, so he'll earn a first down. Ball officially spotted at the 44.
If you happen to be listening to the game here at the stadium, quick reminder that 50/50 tickets are being sold. The proceeds from this raffle go to Safe Sports Network. That's the organization in the state that makes sure all football games have athletic trainers available to them at no cost. So, worthy cause.
1st and 10 for Bedford at Memorial's 44. It's a handoff to Axton up the middle again. Good blocking, and he's going to have another first down all the way down to the 33-yard line. So pickup of 11, and Bedford's running game is starting to roll.
Yeah, Axton is really rolling up the yardage. He was having a terrific year, as you mentioned earlier. He's definitely the bell cow running back for this Bulldogs team.
Sanchez looks like he's going to start in the backfield on this first down, along with Axton. Michael in between them in the shotgun. He hands it to Sanchez running right. He breaks a couple tackles and is brought down at about the 25-yard line. Pickup of 8, bringing up 2nd down and short. So after that interception, Harry, Bedford has been a little bit more conservative here, just pounding it on the ground.
Under 4 minutes to play here in the first quarter, no score.
This time Michael does drop back to pass, attempts it into the right corner, and it falls just out of bounds. That was Scaling, and the ball landed right by the pylon, just out of Scaling's reach.
It was kind of a tricky throw. Scaling was looking over his left shoulder, but the throw was more toward his right shoulder.
Joe Michael looking to the sideline, the near sideline. Bedford going right to left here. 3:45 to play in the first quarter. 3rd and 4 for Bedford at Memorial's 27. Scaling goes in motion, but the handoff is to Axton running right, but he's brought down short of the first down. He's down at the 25. So Coach Matthews is going to have a decision to make here on 4th and 2.
Kyle Blaze with the tackle there that saved the first down for Memorial.
Ryan Babotis, the field goal kicker for Bedford, certainly has the leg to kick a 42-yarder, but Coach Matthews is going to keep the offense on the field here for this 4th and 2. Just over 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. And Michael has Axton in the backfield with him, along with Sanchez. The give is to Sanchez, running left. And it looks like his forward progress will get him to the 22.
Yeah,
that'll be
barely
enough for another first down.
The official just barely standing in front of the first down marker, so the run is good for a first down.
So the early gamble for Coach Matthews pays off on that 4th and 2. Bedford's drive continues, trying to break this scoreless tie. Just under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Bedford looking to score first. Last week, Goffstown scored first, but Bedford ran off 48 in a row after that. Now Michael drops back to pass, and there's a short pass over the middle. It's incomplete. Axton was nearby, but Bedford could not get that one set up. Axton had some blockers alongside him. If they'd been able to connect on that, Axton would have had a chance to score. But instead, we'll have 2nd and 10 here at the 22.
Got a score in Division I, Merrimack 7, Nashua South 7 with 5:56 left in the first half.
Michael ready in the shotgun. Axton in the backfield to his left. And we've got movement on the line. And it is encroachment. So Bedford will be 5 yards closer. That 2nd and 10 turns into 2nd and 5 at Memorial 17.
And a quick update, Nashua South scoring a touchdown with 4:24 left in the half. They're up 14-7.
Michael's got his play call, and he's telling the lineman. And now he's set for this 2nd and 5. He hands it to Axton, but that play goes nowhere. Crusaders got some great penetration there and brought Axton down for a loss.
Yeah, James Austin, number 30, he was kind of the plug on that play. He got in, even though he was on the ground, he got into Axton's way and slowed him down just enough for his teammates to come and drive him back.
It brings up 3rd and 7 at the 19. 2:05 to play in the first quarter. The sophomore quarterback Joe Michael in the shotgun. He drops back to pass.
I was going to run.
Under pressure, he steps up in the pocket and attempts to throw it to Scaling right at the first down marker, but that falls incomplete.
Now, Michael did actually look like he was going to take off and then threw the ball quickly, but he really wasn't set, which is why the throw to Scaling was kind of off the mark.
Ryan Babotas coming on for Bedford to attempt a field goal. Ball is at the 30, at the 19.
Well, the placement's going to be at the 25, so it'll be a 35-yard attempt.
And we're ready for the attempt. Hold is good. Kick is up. And it's just wide to the left. So Babotas had the leg on that 35-yarder, but he pulled it to the left. And we still have a scoreless tie here with 1:51 to play in the opening quarter.
It's a lot closer game than we initially expected. A lot of the prognosticators, one Roger Brown, predicted a 5-touchdown victory for the Bulldogs today, but that's why they play the game. Memorial has definitely come to play, and they're putting up a good fight so far, keeping the game scoreless with 1:51 to go here in the first quarter.
So Josephic and the Crusaders take over at their own 19. Josephic hands it off to the man in motion. That's number 7, Javon Collier.
A little bit of a slow play there. A little bit of indecision on the handoff might have hampered Collier's ability to get some yardage there. Picks up a yard, might have gotten a little more if he had gotten the ball a little cleaner.
Memorial experimenting here earlier with their ball carriers. They've handed it off to 5 different players, trying to find a combination that will work. So far they've had 1 first down, and there's another handoff running left. That's Kyle Blaze.
Might have got a yard there.
Bedford's run defense strong again here in the opening quarter.
8 minutes to go in the half. Salem with a 34-0 lead against Timberlane. They're playing at Timberlane. And we will see Salem on October 18th playing down in Haverhill, Mass, while they get their field redone.
3rd and 8 now for the Crusaders at their own 23. Josephic under center, and he pitches it to the man in motion running to the right, but he's going to be short of the first down. That was Kai Colson, and he's brought down at the 25, bringing up 4th and 6.
Zach Barnard was in on that play, and he really did a great job shedding his blocker and was able to reach around and get and slow down the runner.
10 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Memorial has their punting unit on the field, but they are in no hurry to snap the ball. And the clock will run out. So after 12 minutes of play, no score here between the undefeated Bulldogs and the visiting Memorial Crusaders.
The Bedford Bulldog Athletic Booster Club would like to thank the generous corporate sponsors of their programs: Spectrum Marketing, Friends of Girls Basketball, Bedford Village Inn, Elliott Medical Center at Bedford, Liberty Hill Construction, Rebecca Spires Real Estate, and Pizza Bella. On behalf of the 500-plus student athletes this season, we thank everybody for their support. And if you're interested in becoming a corporate sponsor or becoming an individual member of the Bedford Athletic Booster Club, grab a form at the concession stand or visit online at bbabc.net.
Well, if you're just joining us here as we get ready to start the second quarter, the highlight of the first quarter was that 43-yard pass to Solomon Sanchez on Bedford's first offensive play. But then Bedford had a turnover in the red zone, an interception in the end zone, which stalled that first drive.
And Memorial's definitely playing a very strong defensive game and really not that bad an offensive game. They haven't moved the ball much, but they are moving it. They keep running it. They're focusing pretty much on the ground game. They're not really airing it out very much.
John Charbonneau on to make his third punt of the evening.
That's a nice punt.
That one is over midfield. Ellie backing up, fields it at his 40. And now he's dragged down just shy of midfield.
Jacob Calabro had him by a thread on his jersey, just enough to slow him down.
Ellie was really fighting there, trying to break that hand tackle. But Calabro really had a tight hold on his jersey. So the punt return brings the ball up to Bedford's 48, where it'll be 1st and 10 on their third possession of the night.
Couple of scores from Division I. BG up 12-7 over Keene. South with another touchdown, no extra point, 20-7. They're leading Merrimack, and Londonderry on board 7-0 in their game. We'll get more to you in a minute.
Michael rolls out to his right on 1st down and completes the pass to Ethan Van Heerden. He's brought down about a yard short of the line of scrimmage, but we have a flag down. And it's going to be a holding call against Bedford.
That's going to hurt.
Looks like Memorial will accept that penalty.
I should mention too that touchdown was scored against against Pinkerton. This is the big Londonderry-Pinkerton rivalry week, and they're playing in Derry at Pinkerton Academy Stadium. So Londonderry really hasn't won too many of those games, but they're definitely a powerhouse this year, and we'll be seeing them in a couple of weeks. I believe they'll be here on October 11th. We'll have that game for you on radio and TV.
Memorial indeed accepted that penalty, so the holding call pushes Bedford back to their own 35, bringing up 1st and 23. There's a handoff to Axton running right. He's got some space. He gets all the way back up to the 46. So an 11-yard pickup on 1st and long there.
You know, if you pay attention to Axton, he likes to delay his burst. He gets that handoff and he just kind of waits a minute to freeze the defenders to make it look like he's in for blocking. And then he takes off and he picks up a good 8 yards there.
2nd and 12 for Bedford at their own 46. 11 minutes to play here in the first half. Michael drops back to pass, and he hits Sanchez in the right flat. Sanchez across midfield, dragged out of bounds at the 43.
They're going to say he went out of bounds about a yard short of the 1st down marker. I thought he had made it. I thought he was kind of tiptoeing the sideline.
Nice individual.
They are going to give him a 1st down. You know, actually, if you look at the markers, it looks like they're still short.
We got another signal there that it is going to be 3rd and short.
Okay. So I wasn't seeing things.
There was some confusion there between the officials and the chain gang, but we're going 3rd and 1 here at the 43. Michael hands it to Axton running left. He's got a wide open hole. 1st down and more. He's inside the 30. Ball comes loose. Bedford recovers.
They might say that he was already down. The ball looked like it came out after he hit the ground.
Tim Green falling on that loose ball just in case. And the clock stops now with Bedford getting that 1st down at the Memorial 29-yard line.
Stick around at halftime. We're going to have an interview, as we usually do, with Coach Zach Matthews. Lauren Fox did the honors this afternoon, spoke with the coach, and we'll bring it to you at halftime. Good 10 minutes. So stick around and listen to that here on Bedford 105.1 on BCTV. We will be bringing you the Bedford High Band. So if you want to watch the marching band, do that on TV. If you want to listen to the coach, tune into the radio.
You can even do both. That's an option.
Yeah, that's right. No rule says you can't. Looks like we have a timeout here.
Memorial called this one. So both teams now have 2 timeouts remaining in the first half. If you're just joining us, there's 10:45 to play in the first half. No score. Bedford's 3rd possession here. They've been in Memorial territory on each possession. but the first possession ended with an interception. The second one ended with a missed field goal. And now Michael in the shotgun for this 1st and 10. Hands it to Sonny Ellie straight up the middle. He's going to pick up about 1.
Frankie Rodriguez with the tackle there helps Ellie get up after he brought him down.
You'll see Ellie all over the field. In the backfield, in the secondary, returning punts and kickoffs. He's in the backfield again here on 2nd down and 10. Michael drops back.
Oh, fumble,
Tries to go long. Ball is just knocked out of his hands. And Memorial has it. They're at the 40, down to the 30. And a touchdown saving tackle there by Dylan Kambani. That was one of those throws where the Memorial defender took it right out of Michael's hands. And you'd have to look at replay to see if he'd actually gotten it out of his hand and the ball was blocked, or just...
No, he definitely pulled it out of his hand. You know, Ellie was in the backfield to provide blocking, and he did a nice job picking up the blitz, I guess, from it looked like number 65, although I don't see a 65 on the roster. Maybe I read the number wrong. But you know, Ellie could have, you know, he did get the initial block on him, but not enough to deflect the player. He was able to get right to Michael. And like I said, knock the ball out of his hands, pick up the ball on the bounce, and return it about 30 yards.
So now Memorial has a 1st down in Bedford territory, and they pass it down to the 10-yard line, almost picked off. Instead, that'll fall incomplete, so bring up 2nd down and 10 on Bedford's 30.
I don't think anybody knew who that was intended for. I mean, Junior Darlou was in there, number 1, number 36, Kai Colson was in the vicinity, and the ball just kind of missed everybody and everything.
We do have a flag down on the play. And it looks like it's going to be against Bedford. That's roughing the passer.
Wow. This is not the way Coach Matthews wanted to see his team play. A lot of penalties, a lot of miscues, doing a lot of things to help out Memorial here. I mean, 2 turnovers, 1 in the red zone, 1 here that turned into a great field position.
And it's 1st and 10 for Memorial inside the red zone. That's a pass deep in the end zone, but it's out of the back of the end zone. Once again, great coverage by the Bedford secondary.
Yeah, that pass was intended for Joey Calabro, and it probably was an ill-advised throw because he had 3 Bulldogs around him, so throwing it out of bounds was kind of a good break there.
Jeff Josevic, the quarterback for Memorial, looking to hit the home run here after that turnover. But after the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 on Bedford's 15-yard line. 9:55 to play in the 2nd quarter.
It looks like encroachment there on Bedford. 2 players on the far left part of the line encroached on that play.
That is indeed the call. So we'll have 2nd and 5 now at Bedford's 10. Memorial looking to put the first score on the board. They've got 2 in the backfield. 1 wide receiver split out to the left. And it's a hand up the middle by number 23. He stretches for the end zone.
He gets it.
And he gets it. That's a touchdown. Rob Fuller on the carry. And Memorial is ahead 6-0. Memorial had potential ball carriers running in about 3 different directions in the backfield. So some misdirection ends up in a 10-yard touchdown run for Rob Fuller.
Kind of similar to the plays that Bedford runs with Axton. The same kind of delay draw.
Will Clark on to attempt the extra point, and it's just inside the left upright. So with 9:47 to play in the first half, the Memorial Crusaders leave the Bedford Bulldogs 7-0.
And it's all because of that fumble forced by the charging lineman. Again, number 65. I don't have his name on the roster. Maybe we can get that later on. But really, he was able to create the fumble, pick up the loose ball, return the ball deep into Bedford territory, setting up that scoring play. And of course, a couple of penalties there on the Bedford team as well, giving the Crusaders 15 free yards.
That's that play that all defensive linemen dream about. That strip sack, recovering the fumble, and then a really athletic return as well.
And how would Chris Berman say? Rumbling, stumbling,
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. That's what he was doing. Down to the 30. And it leads to the first score of the game. A 10-yard rushing touchdown for Fuller. Short kickoff here by Memorial, fielded at the 32. And Bedford still has it, running left, up to midfield. And that's Hayden.
Hayden Shaney. He was dead to rights at about the 40-yard line and was able to kind of step out of the tackle attempt and go around the around that attempt and pick up another 10 yards. So heads up running there by Hayden Shaney puts Bedford in Memorial territory on the 48.
Yeah, it really was. Memorial trying to keep the ball out of the hands of Sonny Ellie, but Cheney makes them pay for it with a nice run. So 1st and 10 here for Bedford. 9:37 to play in the second quarter. Trailing 7-0. Bedford going with 3 wide receivers. Axton in the backfield. Michael drops back to pass.
There's a rush.
He throws it up on the far sideline. Tim Green has it. He breaks a tackle. He's going to go in for the end zone. Touchdown. Bedford strikes on its first play, a 48-yard touchdown pass from Joe Michael to Tim Green.
And the defender on that play, number 22, Kyle Bukaniewicz, was actually in terrific position to make a play on the ball, at least try to get a hand up, but instead he turned himself around for some reason, kind of just took himself out of the play and let Green make the catch. So an error there on the coverage play by Bukaniewicz, and Bedford ties it up, or they will if they make this extra point.
It's Ryan Babonis on to attempt that extra point. Hold is good. Kick is up and through. So with 9:29 to play in the second quarter, Bedford has tied this one at 7.
And just the answer that the Bulldogs needed after giving up a touchdown to the Crusaders. They come right back after a terrific return by Hayden Cheney on a short kickoff, put him in Memorial territory, and then on the first play, a pass from Michael to Green, good for 48 yards and a touchdown.
That's the second big pass play of the night for the Bulldogs. Michael had the 43-yard completion to Sanchez on the first play of Bedford's first drive. And they went for the home run there on first down as well.
Got an update from Pinkerton. Londonderry up 14-0 early in the second. And at halftime, South up 20-7 over Merrimack.
Babotis attempts the onside kick, but there is a flag down. Looks like we're going to have offsides on Bedford. So Coach Matthews looking to grab a quick possession here, an extra possession.
Well, he's taken after the previous coach, Coach Stank. He was known to go onside quite often, or at least kick it short to confuse the return teams.
It's a great time to do it after that big touchdown play. You figure Memorial is back on their heels a little bit. Bedford has all the momentum and just couldn't complete the play as designed with the offside. So Babotis now set to kick off from Bedford's 35. And it's a little bit of a pooch kick, fielded at the 35.
Dennis Cote came up with that and just very smartly fell to the ground to protect the ball. We actually have a pretty big game in Division I between the Exeter Bluehawks 2-0 and Nashua North Titans 3-0. That tied at 14 apiece over at Stello Stadium. That's in the second half.
Memorial takes over at their own 33. Josephic in the shotgun this time. And he hands it to Kai Colson running right. And he's brought down at the 39-yard line after a pickup of 6. Memorial really looking to get to the edge with their running game.
Showing some good speed, too.
Second and 4 now for Memorial. Just under 9 minutes to play in the first half. Score tied at 7. Josephic under center this time. And it's another handoff. But Bedford's run defense is up to the task. They drop Kyle Blaze right at the line of scrimmage.
So now they've got a 3rd and 3 at the 40-yard line.
Generous spot there. Officials saying that the forward progress got Memorial to the 40. So 3rd and short here, 3rd and 3. Josephic under center again.
Looks like a blitz from Bedford. Now they pull back.
Zwickau was the one showing blitz there. He had an interception return for a touchdown last week against Goffstown. Memorial resetting now.
Now they're showing that blitz.
And it's another handoff. No gain. We do have a flag on the play.
Could be a hold on Memorial. Usually, yep, it is. The initial indication shows a holding on the Crusaders. And that'll set them back 10 yards. So it'll be a 3rd and 13. Unless Bedford decides to just decline it and take the 4th down. It will be 4th and 3.
4th and 3. It was a run of no gain. So Coach Matthews deciding between 4th and 3 or 3rd and 13. And here we're getting the signal from the official. And the holding penalty is accepted. So Coach Matthews playing the field position battle.
Figuring they could probably stop them again deep, and if they have to punt, get that much better field position.
Ball spotted at the 29. So Memorial looking at a 3rd and 14 from its own 29. 7:53 to play here in the first half. Game tied at 7. Jeff Josephic calling out the play for the Crusaders. And now he's under center with 2 in the backfield. He's going to roll out to his left, looking downfield, can't find any openings. Now he throws it to midfield, and it's caught.
And are they going to give him the reception? They will.
They are.
They will. First down at the Bedford 49-yard line.
That was Sawyer Bergeron with a 22-yard pickup, and he really tiptoed the sideline on that catch.
Absolutely. It really looked like the quarterback was going to run out of time there. He was, like you said, he was rolling to his left and was waiting and waiting and waiting for his receiver to open up, and finally let it go at the last second just before he got hit.
So the 22-yard pickup gets Memorial into Bedford territory at the 49. 1st and 10. Memorial goes with the handoff. Running left, that's Rob Fuller. He scored the touchdown from Memorial. This time, he's only able to pick up 2.
Tyler Spires there with the tackle for Bedford. The problem with these running plays from Memorial is that they're really slow in developing, and the blocking isn't holding up. Bedford's able to penetrate, and they look like they're getting some momentum, and then Bedford's able to blow up their blocking scheme, and turns out to be just a gain of a yard instead of something bigger.
2nd and 9. It's a pitch. Back to Cody. Running right, but he's got no room to operate. He's brought down for a loss back at Memorial's 47-yard line.
Yeah, that pitch was really deep. I mean, we're talking about a 7-yard behind the line of scrimmage pitch. And it's probably not such a good idea because the Bedford defense has been penetrating pretty well. And if you're going to give up that much yardage, you're just inviting Bedford to tackle you behind the line of scrimmage. So not the best play call there on the part of the Crusaders.
3rd and 14 now for Memorial at their own 47. They have to get to Bedford's 39. Josephic drops back to pass. He's under pressure, throws it deep. That's going to be picked off by Jack Jones at Bedford's 30. He's running to the right. He's up to the 40, 45, 50, still running, and he's brought down at Memorial's 40-yard line.
Wow. I can't even tell who that pass was intended for. I mean, there was nothing but black jerseys around that throw.
Well, Jack Jones, who does the punting for Bedford, intercepted that pass almost like he was receiving a punt.
Right.
He was the only man there.
Yeah. So big turnover there for Memorial. You know, a bad play on that pitch and then a desperation heave that turns into an interception and a big return puts Bedford in great position here, although they call timeout here. They're at the 40-yard line, 1st and 10 with 5:57 to go and the game tied at 7. Don't forget at halftime here on Bedford 105.1, Lauren Fox has his interview with Bedford High coach Zach Matthews. We'll bring that to you at halftime. On BCTV 23, you'll be able to enjoy the Bedford High Band performing. We'll bring you that live at halftime.
And if you're just joining us, Bedford has turned the ball over offensively twice, an interception and a fumble. And Memorial took advantage of that with a 10-yard touchdown run that put them up 7-0.
Astros respond in Derry. They are now trailing the Londonderry Lancers 14-7. It was a 35-yard touchdown run by Jake McInnes, their quarterback. BG now up 20-7 over Keene. And those are the scores we have for you right now.
Bedford now looking to take advantage of that turnover as they picked off Josevic. And now starting from Memorial's 40, Michael drops back to pass. He's going deep to the left for Van Heerden, just overthrown.
And you could see Van Heerden kind of looking around for the ball. He wasn't sure where it was. It was kind of a high pass. And if he was able to lock on the ball, I think he could have met the ball and might have gotten a touchdown there because he was past his defender. But he couldn't find the ball in the night sky. It falls incomplete.
2nd and 10 now for the Bulldogs at Memorial's 40-yard line. 5:51 to play in the first half. Tied at 7. Michael takes the shotgun snap.
And a blitz.
It's a screen pass to action. He's got it running up the right side. He's across the 40-yard line down to the 38. So just a short pickup there of 2. Brings up 3rd and 8 at Memorial's 38-yard line.
Yeah, and Michael had to get rid of that ball quick. He had the Crusader blitz on him pretty quickly. Probably fortunate that he had the screen play called there. He had Axton waiting for the pass.
Clock running at 5:20 to play in the first half. Michael takes the snap. He's looking at Scaling on the right side, and he's got him. Completed just inside the 25-yard line. Nice route by Scaling with the comeback. And that throw was right on the money.
Yeah, you know, quarterback to quarterback. It's a real trust factor there. Maybe Scaling understands what Michael needs. He comes back to the ball, reliable hands. He had one-on-one coverage there, was able to beat his man and turn around. He stepped out of bounds, but still a great catch.
They mark it at the 27, and there's a handoff to Sanchez running left. We've got a flag on the play. Sanchez still fighting for yardage. Another flag on the play, and he's brought down at Memorial's 25-yard line.
Yeah, Jovan Collier had him by his jersey again, waiting for help, just pulling him like a tug-of-war, able to slow him down. I don't know if that certainly isn't the penalty. You can grab a jersey to tackle somebody, so I'm not sure what this call is here.
It did appear that there were 2 separate infractions. One flag on the near side and one on the far side at the end of the play. And we're getting the signal now. Sideline infraction on Bedford and a hold.
So they'll take one of those penalties. Either way, it's going to send the Bulldogs back. The hold is 10 yards. I don't know what a sideline infraction's worth.
It was declined because the holding call does move Bedford back 10 yards. So it's going to be spotted at the 34, which brings up first down and 18 is what they're calling it officially.
We're exactly at the 5-minute mark here of the second quarter. Tied at 7 here between Memorial and Bedford. Much, much closer game than people anticipated.
And of course, that's what happens when you turn the ball over twice and you have a missed field goal. Bedford has driven the ball into Memorial territory on each possession, but they only have 7 points so far.
And if you're Memorial, you really don't need to do anything to help the Bulldogs. You know, if you have any hopes of an upset, you got to play mistake-free game, and to have the miscues that they've had in this quarter have put Bedford in a good spot here to perhaps take the lead away.
So after the holding penalty is marched off, we've got 1st and 18 at Memorial's 34. There's a blitz. Michael keeps it, and he's brought down at the 35.
Kind of a strange play. I don't know if Michael intended to carry it, but he ended up with the ball and got hauled down by Taylor Laporte for no gain.
He faked the handoff to Axon running left, and Axon would have run into that blitzer if Michael had given him the handoff, so Michael kept it, but loses 1 on the play. So 2nd and 19 from the 35. Michael drops back to pass. Again. He's got Sanchez, and the pass is completed just shy of the 25. Sanchez scampers out of bounds. So that'll bring up a 3rd down with 4:15 to play here in the first half. Ball officially spotted at the 26. So 3rd and 9 now. They've got to get to the 17. Michael in the shotgun, drops back. Another pass to Sanchez, and he makes a diving catch right on the sideline. Wow. What a fantastic individual play there by Sanchez.
Sanchez was nearly horizontal when he caught that ball. He planted his tiptoes right on the ball, right on the line, and leaned out, and was able to get that catch. But as we just heard, it's going to be short by about a yard.
It looks like we may have a measurement, as the ball is marked right at about the 17. That's where the 1st down marker is. So the chain gang coming onto the field for our first measurement. Clock stop with 4:08 to play in the first half. You got to figure that if Bedford's short here, Coach Matthews will go for the 1st down. Because if they're short, it's only going to be by a matter of inches.
Taking a look here. And it is a 1st down.
So Bedford gets a 1st down by a few inches there. And now they're in the red zone again.
Londonderry answers the touchdown by Pinkerton with one of their own, a 28-yard pass to Alex Tsitsilis. And now it's 21-7 in Derry. Lancers versus Astros in a big rivalry game.
Bedford moving left to right here, late in the 2nd quarter, tied at 7. 1st and 10 at Memorial's 17-yard line. Sanchez goes in motion. Handoff to Axon up the middle. He's got a big hole, and he's in for the touchdown. A 17-yard score for Mike Axton.
And the Red Sea parted right there. It was amazing. You could hear the Memorial coaches in the press box saying middle, middle, middle. Like everybody just left the middle, and it just opened up a truck lane for Axton to find the end zone.
So with 4:02 on the clock, Babotis on to try to give Bedford a 14-7 lead. Hold is good, and the kick is up and through. So Bedford moves ahead with its first lead of the ball game, 14-7, with 4:02 to play in the first half.
And that was set up by the interception and return earlier in this quarter. Bad throw there by Memorial. So, you know, these mistakes, these penalties and turnovers really lead to scores that you don't want to be giving up here. But it's still a close game. Memorial is within 1 score. They have, you know, they've shown the ability to move the ball, so they're definitely still in this game. Don't forget that Bedford 105.1 and BCTV 23 bring you every single football game this season on TV and on radio. Next week we're going to be at Gill Stadium for a 7:15 kickoff as we take on the Little Green, and that will be both on TV and radio, so be sure to tune in. for Bulldogs football here on Bedford 105.1 and BCTV 23.
Here comes the kickoff by Babotis. He kicks it deep this time. Travels all the way to the 15-yard line. And Memorial breaks a tackle across the 45-yard line. And the tackle is made there on Kai Colson, who takes it from Memorial's 15 all the way up to the 47. So a 32-yard return there for the Crusaders.
Oh, and Christopher, I won't call it a touchdown-saving tackle, but definitely a yardage-saving tackle. He probably could have gone a lot further if Christopher didn't catch up to him from behind.
So the big special teams play gets Memorial great field position here, trailing 14-7 late in the first half. Josevic pitches it. The Crusaders running right, but there's nowhere to go. That was Braden Hafman, number 5. And that's 7 different ball carriers that the Crusaders have called on tonight.
They had 3 runners in the backfield, including Hafman. And these pitchback plays are not working for them because the Bulldog defense is just penetrating. Their line can't hold the block. So it's not a good idea, I think, to be pitching it back. They pitch it back again, but it's a flea flicker.
Yeah, Hafman's going to pass it. Hafman is one of the Memorial quarterbacks, so he intended a pass there that was overthrown.
He was intending to hit Sawyer Bergeron with that pass, although he had double coverage.
So those 2 plays looked exactly the same. The first time Hafman ran it, the second time it was a design pass play after the pitch back to Hafman.
And Hafman actually hesitated on that first run. I wonder if there was an option to throw the ball and decided not to.
3rd and 12 is the result of those 2 plays. And there's a handoff. And it's Colson again, but he's brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
Zach Strobel. Bedford showing tremendous discipline on the line of scrimmage, just not ceding the edge to these runners. It was an excellent play by Memorial, a quick handoff, but did not fool Strobel. He just stayed with his man and kept him for literally no gain.
Coach Matthews calling timeout there for Bedford as we have 4th and 12. So Coach Matthews trying to preserve some clock here. 3:07 to play in the first half. With Memorial expected to punt here, Bedford will have plenty of time to try to march down the field and score once more before halftime.
And Londonderry scoring another touchdown, a 54-yard reception by Cole Keegan. 28-7, they lead Pinkerton now.
John Charbonneau on to punt again for the Crusaders. Sonny Ellie back to receive the punt at about Bedford's 30-yard line. The punt, the snap is bounced, but Charbonneau gets the punt away, and now it's rolling.
We're off the air. We're off the air.
And it's downed by Memorial at the 24-yard line.
I don't know. You got to put the station back on, the channel 23 back on. I think the carousel kicked in. It must have been timed to. No, I know it probably automatically did that. No, I don't have the radio feed. Okay, we're back on. Sorry about that, folks. We are back on. So, quick recap. It's now Bedford with 1st and 10 on the 24. In their own 24.
2:52 to play in the first half. It's a screen pass attempted for Ellie, but it's incomplete.
Ruled incomplete. It was bouncing around. I think the Memorial player thought it might have still be a live ball.
So the referees ruled that was not a lateral, which brings up 2nd and 10 for Bedford. 2:45 to play here in the first half. Bedford at its own 24-yard line, looking to extend the lead here before halftime. Michael takes the shotgun snap. He gets hit as he throws, but he has Sanchez, and he's completed it. Sanchez breaks the tackle. He's going to score 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. 76-yard touchdown pass from Joe Michael to Solomon Sanchez, and Bedford leads 20-7.
And that couldn't have been a better placed ball. Sanchez just had to put his hands out in front of him, and the ball would have just landed right cradled into his arms. So a beautiful throw there, especially under pressure. And Bedford's able to add to their lead now, 20-7 with an extra point coming up.
All Sanchez had to do after he caught it was just break that shoestring tackle attempt, and he did so. And there was no one back to prevent the touchdown for the Crusaders. Extra point attempt is up and good. Bobota's 3 for 3 on extra point attempts tonight, and Bedford leads 21-7 with 2:33 to play in the first half.
So the Bulldogs starting to wake up their offensive firepower here after letting the Crusaders hang around for a good chunk of this game, tied at 7. 2 quick touchdowns, big scoring plays, and they're able to get out to a pretty good lead here. And, you know, it doesn't take long, doesn't take a lot of time to make magic happen, and that throw was truly magical there. Michael to Sanchez.
It really was, Harry, and that's the third long pass that's been completed by Michael tonight of over 40 yards. So Bedford's passing game really starting to roll here in the 4th game of the season. And now Bobotas will kick off with the Bulldogs leading 21-7, kicking off from left to right. It's a short kick, fielded by Memorial, and the ball carrier takes a knee. That was Dennis Cote again. That's the second time he's fielded a kickoff on the short kick from Bobotas. So now Bedford's defense has that 2-touchdown cushion, and Memorial facing a bit of pressure here. Bedford has scored its 3 touchdowns in just under 7 minutes of game action here in the second quarter. So they've turned a 7-0 deficit into a 21-7 lead. And now Memorial starts its drive with a handoff. That's Jacob Calabro, the 8th different ball carrier for the Crusaders in the first half.
And a flag is on the field, and it's going to be a penalty on Bedford. A chop block or
personal foul.
Personal foul.
So that's going to result in an automatic first down. And once again, Memorial has great field position. Ball is spotted at Bedford's 46-yard line. Clock starts with 2:20 to play here in the first half. Josephic under center. And there's a handoff to Kyle Blaze, running right, nowhere to go. And he's brought down at the line of scrimmage.
And again, those Bulldogs, fierce along the line. They pushed the runner along the line of scrimmage. He tried to cut inside, but was cut off there by Jack Rogan. And he tried to get around the edge again, and 2 more Bulldogs came in, just nowhere to run.
So 2nd down and 10 from Memorial at Bedford's 46. Just over a minute and a half to play here in the first half. And there's a pitch play. Again, nowhere to go.
Hey, Grogan there along with number 63, Charles Nigel Williams. Yeah, the hole was there when he ran to it, but by the time he got to the line of scrimmage, the Bulldogs had shut it down.
So now it's 3rd and 10 as we have a timeout on the field. .124 left to play here before halftime. Bedford leading 21-7.
And don't forget, at halftime, we'll have our interview with Coach Matthews on Bedford 105.1 Radio.
It was Bedford who called that timeout.
trying to get some more offensive play time here. There is 124 to go, and well, the Bulldogs are out of timeouts, but 124 is still a lot of time.
And the players back on the field here after the timeout. 3rd and 10. Josephic under center. And there's a handoff up to the 40-yard line. Forward progress is stopped there. It was Bryce Cody.
That was a pretty good run there by number 23, Rob Fuller, and it's within, I guess, 3 yards of a first down, so they're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Clock running, 1 minute to play in the first half. And the clock stops after the whistle. Now, it was an equipment issue. Now we're running again.
And encroachment there by Bedford is going to give Memorial a first down on a penalty. A little too aggressive there.
It was 4th and 3, and Bedford's miscue there at the line gives Memorial a first down. Clock running now, 52 seconds to play in the first half. Memorial's going to have to hurry. They're at the 34-yard line.
They do have one timeout, though.
The clock running all the way down to 42 seconds. And it's another handoff to Fuller. He's brought down at the 32. Clock still running under 30 seconds.
And they're lining up quickly here. 25, 24, 23.
2nd and 7 at Bedford's 32. Clock down to 20 seconds. There's another handoff up the middle. Nothing doing there.
I figure they're going to call timeout here. They've got 10 seconds to go. Nope. Clock is running down to 6, 5, 4. Now, that doesn't make any sense to me. They're going to let the clock run out. Oh, they did finally stop it. Okay, I was going to say, you have a timeout, and you're at the 29-yard line. Why not just, send one to the end zone? You're down 2 touchdowns. You're within striking distance. I was going to say, and really, I would have probably thrown the ball if it was incomplete. You'd have another try at it and then another try at it and still have the timeout in your back pocket. So
that's right. They could have called the timeout with 8 or 9 seconds. Instead,
right. They could have had a couple tries.
Instead, there's 0.5 on the clock.
So a missed opportunity, I think, here for the Crusaders. They could have had a few more tries at the end zone.
Instead, it looks like the field goal unit is on.
And that's going to be quite the kick. That is 47-yarder.
Will Clark, the junior kicker for Memorial, is on to attempt the kick.
So scoreboard says half a second to go.
Hold is down, kick is up. It's going to be just short.
It was on mark.
So the 47-yard field goal attempt is no good. And after the first half of action, Bedford leads Memorial 21-7 on homecoming weekend. Welcome back to second half action. We thank you, Lauren, for that interview with Coach Matthews. It was fun to hear a little bit of the off-the-field activities of Coach Matthews as he watches film on his opponents each week, and finally had a chance to watch some NFL action. And I took note of the fact that the first game he got to watch was Philadelphia against Green Bay. So he's certainly keeping an eye on some of the high-powered offenses and franchise quarterbacks like Wentz and Rodgers. And last night, Rodgers passed for over 400 yards. He had a great connection with Devontae Adams, and maybe that was some inspiration from some of the deep pass plays in the first half tonight. Harry, Joe Michael was outstanding. He was 9 of 15 for 209 yards and those 2 long touchdown passes. Sanchez had 6 catches for 148 yards, and Green caught the 48-yard touchdown pass. There was a Coach Matthews really has to be happy with the passing attack in that first half.
He is, and the Bulldogs definitely turned it on to bump that lead up by 2 touchdowns. Probably not as happy with the first quarter, where the team had turnovers, had that interception that killed a touchdown drive or a scoring drive, the missed field goal, and the penalties, and turnovers that one of them which gave Memorial their touchdown. So you take the good with the bad. You know this Bedford team is strong. You know that they can play better than they played early on. Sometimes I think even a good team will play down to its opponent. And I think they just have to kind of concentrate, get back to what they do well, and get back in this game and turn on the Jets.
And you're right about those turnovers, Harry. Coming into tonight in Bedford's first 3 games of the season, they'd only committed 2 turnovers. And here in that first half, there were 2 turnovers.
Right.
And certainly
a fumble and an interception.
Fumble and an interception, the interception in the end zone, and then that fumble on the great defensive play by Memorial to strip the ball out of Michael's hands. But other than that, as we said, he was outstanding, 9 of 15, completed 6 passes to Sanchez, 1 to Green, as we mentioned, and then 1 to Aaron Scaling for 11 yards and 1 to Axton out of the backfield for 2 yards. Mike Axton led the rushing attack as usual for Bedford, carrying it 10 times for 65 yards, including that 17-yard touchdown run. Scaling carried it once for 13 yards. Sanchez had 4 carries for 10, and Ellie also had a carry for no gain. Time of possession, Memorial had the ball slightly longer than Bedford, just over 12 minutes of possession. We mentioned the 2 turnovers for the Bulldogs.
That's a continuing trend with the Bulldogs. They've actually been trailing in the time of possession department. In fact, over 3 games, they're to the deficit by 13 minutes and 47 seconds, although it doesn't show up in their record.
That's right. And on the defensive end, we've talked a lot about Bedford's rush defense this season. Once again, stout in the first half, giving up just 59 yards on 23 carries. That's 2.6 yards per carry. And Memorial was only able to get 43 yards on 3 completions in the passing game.
Well, I hope Coach Matthews has some time on Sunday to watch some more NFL football, the battle of the undefeateds, your New England Patriots, and, of course, the upstart Buffalo Bills.
Your Buffalo Bills.
My Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, the team that no one saw coming. What did I tell Lauren at the beginning of the season? You want to remind everybody?
That the media was overlooking the Bills.
That's right, and I think they have. And I think now this game, by the way, is going to be shown throughout most of the country. So I think a lot of people will get a chance to see how the Bills perform. Both teams, I think, are going to have their first test of the year. Obviously, the Bills' opponents 1-8, Patriots 0-3. 0-9. I'm sorry. Really, the biggest test for both sides. Although I'm sure New England fans don't.
For better or worse.
They don't expect it. From what I've heard, they're looking at their first test as being the Kansas City game, much later in the season, and I'm fine with that. Look past the Bills, please. Look past them.
Well, New England also plays Baltimore in Week 9, I believe, so that'll certainly be a test.
That could be a tough game too. Although I'm not entirely sold on Lamar Jackson. I think that the running quarterback, it's great, but you got to have a complete game to really succeed. And I don't know if Lamar Jackson has shown enough of that. Although personally, I've only seen highlights. I haven't seen the game, so maybe he is that good. Who knows? Maybe I'm overlooking them, right?
Could be.
We all have our prejudices. Let's give some scores from around Division One. Merrimack trailing Nashua South 27-14. There's 30 seconds left in the third quarter in that game. Exeter Bluehawks, that's another battle of undefeateds, up 21-20. Sometimes these tweets don't say who they're playing. Oh, Nashua North, right. Nashua North is 3-0, Exeter 2-0, and with 32 seconds left in the third, the Bluehawks are up by 1. So that's quite the contest there, battle of undefeateds. And then the big contest, the big rivalry game at Londonderry and Pinkerton up in Derry, it's 35-7. The Lancers have answered the Astros. They came up with the first touchdown, 7-0, and then the Lancers have just stormed back. They're the number 1 team according to Roger Brown's top 10, with Bedford at number 2. And no doubt, I expect to see Mr. Brown here on October 11th when we host the Lancers here. Should be probably the game of the season, I think. And I'm sure we'll have all the big media here. And of course, we'll have Bedford 105.1 and BCTV 23 bringing you the game. So we hope everybody tunes in for that. And the teams are coming back onto the field now, ready for second half action here with the Bulldogs up 21-7, and Memorial is going to be kicking the ball off to Bedford. So number 11, that's Will Clark, the kicker for the Crusaders. He tees it up at the 40-yard line. Bedford is going to go from right to left. And he approaches the ball. And the kick is in the air. And Sonny Ellie gets it at the 20-yard line. Carrying it up to the 35. He gets around one man. He's at the 40. Now to midfield. He's got some room down the sidelines. To 30, 40. I think he's going to go all the way. He didn't step out of bounds. Menderson Ellie. Touchdown, Bedford.
We've got one referee signaling a touchdown. The other referee on the near sideline appeared to indicate that he stepped on the sideline.
So who's going to win here? George Cox on the camera. Do we have any delayed video?
I think it's a touchdown.
George says he thinks it's good. We've got a delayed video feed. We might be able to determine it here, although we're not official. We can't make the call for the officials here, but we're going to take a look here.
The ball is being spotted at the 25.
And running down the sideline. I think he was in bounds. I really think he was in bounds. The replay at the 25-yard line shows that his foot did not go out of bounds. So I think Memorial caught a break here. So instead of a touchdown, it's going to be Bedford on the Crusaders' 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Unfortunately, no instant replay here in NHIAA Division I. And there's the handoff to Axton to his left. Now he cuts up and tackled down at the 21-yard line. Number 54 there, Mike Violet, making the tackle there for the Crusaders.
Well, Ellie didn't get the touchdown, but he showed tremendous speed running around the left end there as he crossed midfield and just barely, apparently, got bumped out of bounds. Nonetheless, a great start to the second half for the Bulldogs with that big special teams play.
So 3 receivers now to the right for the Bulldogs. Axton in the backfield and the handoff. No, it's a fake to Axton and a throw out to the flat to number 7. And that's Aaron Scaling, the quarterback, now wide receiver. He carries it for a 1st down. Pass to the flat now, and that goes all the way down to the 15-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 15. New set of downs here for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Coach Matthews taking advantage of Scaling's athleticism, getting him on the field and into the mix. That's his 2nd reception of the night. He also has a carry for 13 yards.
2 backs in the backfield. Michael drops back to pass, but decides to pull it down and carry it up the middle. He gets tackled right away, gets the ball down to the 13-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Michael carrying it there in a bit of a precarious position. I thought the ball might get knocked away as he was running through the lineman, but he's able to hold on to it.
Obviously seeing something he didn't like, decided to pull the ball down and run for it. Now a man in motion. That's Scaling going to his left, finding the edge and getting the ball all the way down to the 2-yard line. Great blocking there for Scaling. He's able to get the ball just shy of the end zone. Now it's going to be 1st down and goal at, they're going to say, 2-yard line. So Bedford on the move once again. 10:15 to go here in the 3rd quarter. And 2 backs in the backfield, Sanchez and Axton on either side of Michael. The handoff is to Sanchez, and he's easily into the end zone for a touchdown. 27-7, Bedford up.
That's the 2nd touchdown on the ground for the Bulldogs today. Mike Axton scored from 17 yards out in the 1st half. And Sanchez scores on that one. So now he pairs a rushing touchdown to go along with that 76-yard touchdown reception he had in the 1st half.
Now Ryan Bobotis is ready to try the extra point with Ethan Van Heerden on the hold. Ball is down, kick is up. It's a high kick, but it is perfect. No, it went wide right. Kind of fooled me there. It's such a high kick, but apparently it was wide. So that's a 2nd miss here for Bobotis. He missed a field goal earlier tonight. And the score will remain 27-7. Bedford on top with 9:58 to play here in the third quarter.
Well, much better start to the second half for Bedford after their first possession of the game ended in an interception. They combine the great kickoff return from Ellie with a quick scoring drive, just over 2 minutes. And all of a sudden, it's a 20-point lead for the Bulldogs.
And scores from Division I, Oyster River Portsmouth is up in their game 20-14. And Nashua South up 34-14 over Merrimack. And the kickoff from Bobotas going down to the 15-yard line.
That's Charbonneau.
Number 3, Charbonneau is the return man. He gets tackled at the 26-yard line. That's where the Crusaders will pick up.
Now we mentioned, Harry, that in the first half, Memorial only had 43 yards passing on 3 of 7. And they are a run-heavy offense, but you got to figure they're going to have to try more passes here in the second half if they want to get back in this game.
So Josephic under center, turns around, hands the ball off to no avail. And that second effort gets a few more yards here, so nice way not to give up on the play. It was such a scrum, I can't get the carrier's number.
Kyle Blaze.
Was it Blaze, number 34?
And it was almost the entire team trying to push the pile forward there.
Picks up 4 yards on the play, 2nd down and 6 at the 31-yard line here. 27-7, Bedford in the lead. Two in the backfield, 1 receiver set back. There's a handoff up the middle.
Fuller
gets it up to they're going to give him the 35-yard line on that carry, forward momentum. So it'll be a 3rd down and 4 for the Crusaders. Pretty basic game plan the Crusaders run. They really haven't deviated from that single receiver set. They actually have 2 receivers. One is set off the line of scrimmage, and they usually carry 2 in the backfield. And once again, that is the same setup here. Both receivers are to the right side. Motion there by number 20, Bruce Cote, and we have whistle. It's a false start on Memorial. They're going to be set back by 5. It's going to be 3rd and 8. Those do not help.
Memorial has gone heavy on the rushing attack here. The one thing they've done tonight that's a little bit different from Bedford's other opponents is they've really focused on trying to get the ball outside the numbers, and they've had some success.
Well, for their sake, I hope they don't use the pitch back too often, because that was really not working out to their favor. The Bedford defense just too strong, and they kept giving up yardage on those pitch back plays. Now there's a throw over the middle to number 81, Sawyer Bergeron. He makes the catch, gets it up to the 34-yard line. It's going to be not enough for a 1st down. It'll be now 4th down and about 5. Or they're going to call it 4. 4th and 4 from the 34-yard line, and the Crusaders come out to punt the ball away.
Bergeron's been their best receiver. He had that big 22-yard catch in the first half, but that one just didn't have enough yardage to get to the 1st down marker.
So Charbonneau is in to punt for Memorial, and Menderson Ellie is back. There's a snap, and the rush is on. Just gets it away. The ball's going to bounce and die right at the 43-yard line, where it is touched by Dennis Cody. So Bedford will take over in pretty good field position, 43-yard line, their own, with 7:22 to play, and they're up 27-7.
That was a 23-yard punt. Memorial punted 4 times in the first half, averaging 28.5. Bedford has yet to punt tonight, thanks to those touchdowns and turnovers.
So 4 receivers out there, 1 in the backfield. Michael with a throw over the middle, It was intended for Green. And are they going to call pass interference on that? Yes, they are.
That's going to be either pass interference or a holding call. Let's see what they name it. It was the interference to Green's route, and they'll go with pass interference.
So that's the bigger penalty, 15 yards there. Or in this case, it'll be a spot of the infraction about 11 yards downfield.
That was that slant route from Green. When they ran that play in the red zone, it led to an interception on Bedford's first drive of the night. On that occasion, Green's able to draw the pass interference penalty. So the 15-yard penalty gets Bedford to Memorial's 42.
And this time 3 receivers to the right of Michael. He drops back the pass. Heading down for Sanchez. And a beautiful throw, perfect on the money throw. Gets the ball all the way down to the 23-yard line. First down Bedford. Michael threw into double coverage that time, but placed the ball perfectly to Sanchez. He's really been accurate tonight.
That's Sanchez's 7th reception of the evening for 168 yards.
First down and 10 now at the 24-yard line. Bedford moving the ball now. There's the snap. Michael back. There's a rush, but he gets the ball off to Van Heerden. It goes right off his hands, almost intercepted by number 21, Kyle Bokaniewicz. But he couldn't come up with the ball. Michael had to throw that pass in a hurry. He had a blitzer closing in on him. And Van Heerden did get both his hands on the ball, but he was in kind of an awkward position, wasn't able to pull in. And he kind of dodged a bullet when the Memorial defender failed to come up with the ball up in the air. So second down and 10 at the 24-yard line. And a fake handoff, and now a pass to Green. This is going to go all the way in for a touchdown. Tim Green had 6 more to the score. It's now 33-7 Bedford.
Well, great play action there from the Bulldogs. And Memorial bit on the fake handoff. Green was in single coverage, and once he caught it with a little bit of room, he scampered all the way into the end zone for 6.
Great play here. 7 minutes to go now in the third. And we're waiting for the extra point try by Bobotis, who missed his last kick. I wonder if they're thinking about going for 2 here. We'll find out. I believe they are. Bobotis is not out there. They're going to line up for a 2-point try here, try to make it an even 35. And 4 receiver set. Michael in the shotgun. He's got Axton. He's rolling out to his right. Rolling. Now he throws across the field and hits Scaling for the 2-point conversion. It's good. So the rollout drew everybody to the right, and Scaling did what most quarterbacks wouldn't do, kind of pass across their body, but he had Scaling wide open right by the goalpost, and he was able to come down with the ball. So with the 2-point conversion, we are at 35-7 here with exactly 7 minutes to play here in the third.
Michael showing great patience on that 2-point conversion. As you mentioned, rolling out to the right, and he had 3 receivers to the right, Sanchez, Zwickau, and Scaling, and it was just because of that patience that he was able to find Scaling throwing back to his left. And Bedford now has that 28-point lead, 35-7.
And Bobotis is teeing up the ball, kick it away.
Scaling was limping a little bit as he came off the field.
Came down kind of funny on that catch. I think he was near the end line, and I think he kind of tried to tiptoe and keep his feet in bounds. He might have pulled something trying to do that. So the ball is kicked off, picked up there at about the 12-yard line, and driven back at the 30-yard line. That's Javon Charbonneau is the return man. He gets the ball up to about the 30-yard line. That's where they're going to spot it. So the hole keeps getting deeper here for Memorial, who played a pretty tight game for all of the first quarter and part of the second before Bedford kind of shook off the cobwebs and turned on the Jets. They're 35-7 right now. And we'll see what the Crusaders do. They finally do have some extra receivers out there. They got 2 of them out now. Still 2 players in the backfield, 2 runners in the backfield. We'll see if they go to the air here. They do. Josevic drops back, throws it over the middle, and it's completion there up to the Bedford 49-yard line. Number 11 is the receiver, Will Clark, with the catch. Good throw there by Josevic. First down there, one of the few for the Crusaders tonight. Gets them into Bedford territory at the 49.
Will Clark handling the kicking duties as well as playing some wide receiver tonight.
Now number 20, Bryce Cody, in motion. But it's a handoff.
Rob Fuller again.
With a gain of about 3 yards up to the 46. It'll be 2nd down and 7 here.
If you're just joining us, we mentioned that Memorial used 8 different ball carriers in the first half, but it was Rob Fuller, number 23, who scored their only touchdown, a 10-yard run.
So receivers on both sides. Cody is in motion. The handoff inside. Number 23, Rob Fuller with the carry. He gets another 3 yards, picks it up all the way to the 42, maybe the 41-yard line. It's going to be, we're going to call it a long 2 for 3rd down. At the 41-yard line, 5-yard grade there for Coty. Josevic under center. Cody in motion, then he goes right back to where he came from. Josevic looking to his sideline, looking for a call. Looks like the ball's fumbled on the snap, and he falls right down on it, maintains possession, but winds up losing about a yard. No, the Bedford players show that they came up with it. Number 71, Torrey Helton, the captain, he picks it up, and Bedford capitalizes again on a Crusader turnover. It'll be Bedford ball at the 43-yard line.
Well, Helton making a big play there. Memorial looked like they'd be able to recover that fumble, but
yeah, it looked like Josevic just fell straight down. But even a simple thing like a snap, you can't take for granted. They get away from you, and they did that time on the Crusaders. So another turnover for Memorial gives Bedford the ball back in pretty good field position, their own 43. Up 35-7, they're going to be looking to add another one here. 5:16 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Now they get set. 3 receivers set here, 2 in the backfield for Bedford. Shotgun throw by Michael. That bounces at the feet of Tim Green. Probably a good thing, too, was double coverage he threw into. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Looked like it may have gotten partially deflected at the line of scrimmage, which would explain that pass being inaccurate. Michael has mostly been on the money with his passes tonight.
He has been. It's been a terrific night. Probably sharpest we've seen him play this year. Now Sanchez is in motion. He gets the handoff. Now he cuts to the right, and he's got some room down the sideline, turning on the Jets. 1 man to beat. Changes direction. Now he's running the other way. Still with it, running cross field, trying to get away from that last catcher. And he does. Finally tackled, and is he in the end zone? No, he's just short. The ball comes loose, and did Memorial come up with it? So we'll see what the call is here. Memorial says that Sanchez fumbled the ball right at the goal line. They claim they picked it up, but the officials are going to say that he was down just shy of the goal line at the 1-yard line. Or is that? Yeah, it's going to be 1st and goal at the 1. So we're going to get to see the play here on our delay replay here. We'll let you know what we see. That was, I mean, the run was for about 45 yards, 48 yards, but I think Sanchez ran about 60 yards in the process. So there he goes across field, and the ball comes out. The ball was punched out. But again, there's no video replay here in the NHIAA. So Bedford gets away with one. It did come out. The ball was punched out on the tackle, but the officials are now talking it over. Maybe they haven't decided yet. Maybe they're listening in on our broadcast.
Well, Memorial called timeout there, and it may have been to try to prompt the officials to talk it over a little bit more. But that was probably a bang play. Sanchez's knee may have been down.
That's true. I didn't notice that. I was just watching the ball. So maybe his knee was down. Maybe the ball got punched out. It did come loose, but he might have been ruled down before the play at the 1 yard line.
Either way, it was a tremendous individual athletic play from Sanchez.
Oh yeah, I mean he was evading tacklers left and right. Truly impressive. He has such good vision in the field. Now there's the handoff up the middle, and touchdown.
Grogan.
Bedford. Grogan with the carry. He carries it in from 1 yard out. It's 41-7 Bedford.
Grogan celebrating with Hayden Cheney. And the senior running back is used in short down situations quite often, and he comes through there.
Well, he's the power back. So now at 41-7, the extra point try here by Ryan Bobotis, I believe, or are they going to go for 2 again here? I believe they are. This is going to send the game into run time with 4:43 to go in the third. 4 receivers spread out. Now motion by Sanchez. Handoff to Axton. He finds the seam and runs in for the 2-point conversion. It's going to be 43-7 Bedford.
Well, after a first half that was sort of slow in developing for Bedford in terms of putting some points on the board, they've been excellent here in the third quarter with 3 touchdowns already.
Again, I think they just got caught in the trap of playing down to their opponent. Not that Memorial was playing a bad game at the time. It kind of looked like a pretty well-played game on both sides. But Bedford just playing at their level when they could have been playing a lot higher, and they did finally in the second half of the second quarter. They were able to get their 3 touchdowns, and now they've added 3 more. So 43-7 is the score. We're going to be in run time here momentarily. 4:43 to go here in the third quarter. And Bobotis, who's been a busy man today, kicking off once again. And we're waiting for the approach to the ball, and there it is. Kick is away, off to the side, and it bounces to Charbonneau. He picks up the ball at about the 7-yard line. Moving sideways, he gets submarine there by number 10, Dylan Kumbani. Like a torpedo, just sinks Charbonneau right about at the 10-yard line. So the Crusaders are going to be deep in their own end here. And if they're not able to move the ball well, they're just going to give Bedford another good field drive here.
Joe Michael is the one who took that kickoff for Bedford. Ryan Robotis is on the sideline on one knee. He must have some injury.
Now Josevic carries the ball, calls his own number, and takes it across the 15-yard line up to about the 16. So a gain of 3 right there. It'll be 2nd and 7. Yeah, I just assumed it was Bobotis, number 19, but he said number 10 Michael's doing the kick.
It was number 12 Michael.
12. Here's a handoff and a hole up the middle. Good carry there, just short of the first down. Number 30. That's Blaze. He takes it up to the 21-yard line. He's going to be short by about 2 yards here, 3rd and 2. A little bit of confusion here. Bedford is substituting some defensive players. So they're going to call it 3rd and 1, actually, at the 21-yard line. 2 in the backfield behind Josevic. And there's the handoff, and hard to say what the forward momentum was. Blaze looked like he at least got to the line of scrimmage, then he got driven back. So he had to get to the 22-yard line. The official is indicating he did. So first down there for Memorial at the 22. So some new players coming in for the Crusaders off the sideline. Trevor Siden's in the game right now, as is Owen Hasty, as one of the receivers on the to the right of Josevic. Oh, that ball kind of bobbled there on Josevic, but he was able to hand it off. Quickly taken down after about a yard gain. Number 24, Trevor Sodden with the carry. Makara, correction. So they're going to give him 2 yards on the carry up to the 24. Second down and 8. Again, the Crusaders in a tight formation, just one receiver off to the side, Hasty. 2 in the backfield motion there. But the handoff gets up to about the 31-yard line. Ball comes loose, but the officials say the runner had his forward motion was stopped. So Collier was the ball carrier. He got it up to the 31-yard line, and that's going to be short by about 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and 2. .114 to go here. Clock is running. We're in running time right now with Bedford up 43-7, approaching the 1 minute mark of the 3rd quarter.
It looked like he may have been short there, but they have given Memorial first down.
Oh, they did. It looks like, you're right. I thought it was short. Now, it's a throw over the middle intended for Will Clark. He couldn't come up with it. It's going to be an incomplete pass now, 2nd and 10. Now the official's indicating a timeout. Not sure. Now it's right. Time is back in. So here we go. 44 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. 43-7. Bedford is up. It's 2nd and 10 for the Crusaders. Josevic goes under center. Wait for the snap. He gets it. Fakes the pitch, but they're going to blow the whistle and say there was a false start. So that's going to move him back 5 yards.
Well, with the score 43-7, Memorial having a tough time finding any sort of a rhythm. I do think they've played better than the score would indicate.
Final from Timberlane, Salem wins 47-0. Now 1st and 15, here's a handoff and a big hole opens up all the way up to the 42-yard line. Trying to get the carriers numbered there. Number 7, Collier, Javon Collier with a nice carry there.
He had a head of steam. Stephen Watson doing a good job out of the safety position for Bedford to drag him down.
So Memorial is putting together a pretty good drive here as the 4th quarter ends. They've gotten 2 first downs here on this drive, 2 or 3. I think this is the 2nd one. Anyway, they're keeping the chains moving as the 3rd quarter ends with the score 43-7, Bedford up. And we're in run time right now as the teams huddle on each sideline. Don't forget, next week, Friday night, we'll be on the road at Gill Stadium in Manchester as the Bulldogs will face the Central Little Green at their home turf. The last time we were there was for the Jamboree when they took on Salem there. That was a pretty tightly contested game. And of course, we have Salem on the schedule. That's going to be on the 18th. That game being played in Haverhill, Mass, because the Salem High Stadium, football stadium, is being resodded. So all their games are being played in Haverhill. In between those games on the 11th, it's Londonderry here. That's going to be the game of the season, we think. Londonderry likely being undefeated when they get here. Same with Bedford, hopefully. And then Timberlane on the 25th, and then finishing the season off in Derry at Pinkerton Academy. So now the Crusaders going from right to left, 1st and 10 at their 42-yard line. And a handoff and run to the right. Cody gets about a yard there. Get it up to about the 43, 2nd down and 9.
got a man down for Memorial right at midfield. So
Trying
the
to get a
clock has
number.
been stopped.
One of the linemen, I believe, holding his leg. Haven't been able to get a number. He's sideways to us. Now we see the number at 75, and that is Ethan Angarami. He's able to get up, though. Maybe just a cramp. So the fans give him a hand as he walks off the field. And we're ready to start play here. The clock starts running. So 2nd down and 9 at the 43-yard line. Memorial with the ball. They've got 3 receivers on this set. And their quarterback, Josephik, is in the shotgun to throw high. And it's complete for a first down. Dom LeSure, or Lessier, is able to gain a few yards after the catch. He gets the first down into Bedford territory at their 47-yard line.
He made a nice leaping catch there that was contested.
In traffic, yes. And now they're running kind of a hurry-up offense. They're back to the line of scrimmage. They've got 3 receivers out there in the shotgun. And the handoff on a sweep goes to Jacob Calabro, and he winds up losing yardage on that play. Gets hauled down at the 49-yard line. Bedford defense closing up quickly. Actually, they're going to spot him for forward progress. He's able to get the ball up to the 46 of Bedford, so it'll be 2nd down and 9 here at 10:28 to go. In the shotgun now. Another motion play, but Josephick's going to hold on to the ball and call his own number and go up the middle, just shy of the first down, all the way to the 37-yard line. He'll be short of the first down marker by 1.
Memorial's offense looking much more dynamic on this drive.
Yeah, you wonder why they didn't do some of these a little sooner. They were running such a conservative, tight formation run, and now they're spreading the field a little bit. Still running the ball a lot, but pulling some plays that they hadn't played tonight and getting some positive yards. So again, Josephick in the shotgun, and he decides to call his number again up the middle. He's able to pick up about 5 yards, another first down there. So probably the best drive of the night for the Crusaders. They get another first down at the Bedford 33-yard line. And they're running their version of the hurry up. They're right back to the line of scrimmage. So they're going to say 4-yard gain, 2nd and 6 there at the 33. Motion man, handoff up the middle to Javon Collier. He's able to pick up about 2 or 3.
Collier, their biggest, strongest running back. And he's been featured on this drive, but he's going to be replaced as Memorial's been cycling in the running backs all night long.
Keep him fresh. It's now 3rd down and 4. 8:51 to play here in the game. We're in run time with Bedford up 43-7. Now under center, Josephik turns around, hands it off, and another first down there.
Fuller
with the carry gets the ball down to the 20-yard line. So I don't know if Bedford might have their second string defense in there, maybe give them some playing time. Maybe that's why Memorial's able to move the ball so well. But either way, the Crusaders are showing some life here on offense, driving all the way down to the 23-yard line of Bedford with 8:18 to play. So they're back to a tight formation. Josephik under center, 2 men in the backfield. There's a handoff. Change of direction there, heading for the end zone. Touchdown.
Kyle
Number 34,
Blaze.
Kyle Blaze. He blazed his way to the end zone. The play was to the inside. He ran into a wall of black, changed direction, was able to get to the outside, had the edge and got all the way into the end zone. So Memorial with a touchdown, making it 43-13. And I believe this will put the clock back into stop mode, cutting the lead to under 35 points. And we're ready for the extra point try with Will Clark. Ball is down, placed, kick is up, and it is good. 43-14, Bedford in the lead with 7:59 to play.
Yeah, Blaze was able to break one tackle there in the middle of the field, and then he used his speed to get to the outside.
Pretty solid drive there for the Crusaders. Really, I really can't say they had a bad, well, they had about a bad half. They looked pretty good in the first. They looked good there. Maybe what's in between wasn't the best.
There was a flag down on that play. We've yet to have an indication of what the infraction was.
End of 3, Portsmouth leads 27-20 over Spalding. That's the combined Portsmouth-Oyster River team with their lead. Looking at some other scores as they come by here. Blue Hawks, I think, upset Nashua North, the final, 31-28. So Nashua North with their first loss of the season, and Exeter remains unbeaten. They're 3-0.
Memorial's going to kick off from the 45. So the penalty was enforced on the kickoff.
And it is a kick, and they didn't try the onside there. Picked up by Bedford, still carrying it all the way up to the 35-yard line. Trying to get a number.
Looks like
Michael
Axton.
Axton. Okay, he was the man returning the ball for Bedford, so good field position there. Ready to resume offensive play here. With the score 43-14. Bedford in control here with 7:52 to play. Are we going to see some reserves in on the offense? I believe we are.
If we do, they're going to be 10 yards back as the officials just signal the holding call on that return against Bedford.
So that puts them a lot deeper.
And at quarterback for Bedford is 16. That's Sean Green. He's made a couple of cameos so far this season. He completed.
Why don't I see him on my roster here? 16.
He completed one pass last week at Goffstown.
So Green in the shotgun, still running the spread with 4 receivers, but it's a sweep. And the run there by Leary gets the ball up to the 21-yard line, a gain of about 6. Good carry there for Leary. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
Hayden Cheney in the backfield. And now we've got a whistle. We've got a Memorial player who's injured. It's John Charbonneau, who's handled the kicking duties tonight for the Crusaders, down on one knee.
So we've got a little pause in the action here. End of 3, Pinkerton ahead. Make that Londonderry with a 35-17 lead on Pinkerton. The Astros able to add 10 points in the second half. Starting to cut back that lead a little bit. And we mentioned earlier, Salem with the 47-0 win over Timberlane to remain unbeaten. Or are they? Maybe I'm wrong on it. Does Salem have a loss on the season? Yes, they do, so they're 3-1. So back to the action. Sean Green in the shotgun, takes the snap. Hands it off to, I believe, Leary again. He gets buried. I'm sorry, number 3 was the carrier, Hayden Cheney, with the ball. Winds up losing some yards. Gets it pushed all the way back to about the 17-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and 3. 6:36 to go and counting. Correction, 3rd down and 6 is the down and distance. Sean Green with a throw for Leary. He's got him open, he hits him. Leary's got one man to beat, he's gonna go all the way. Leary scores from 83 yards out. A pass from Sean Green, touchdown Bedford.
Well, the backups didn't take long to make their mark in this fourth quarter, Harry.
Beautiful throw by Sean Green.
Yeah, it really was impressive. Another on-the-money play there. I mean, all Leary had to do was put his hands out. The ball just fell right into his, right in. So a beautiful throw by Sean Green. Hits Leary in stride. He beats his man. It was a foot race. He got the ball right around the 50-yard line and just outran the Crusader defender. So an 83-yard touchdown play. Green to Leary makes it 49-14 with the extra point on the way here. High snap, Van Heerden pulls it down, and Babotis makes it good. 50-14, back to run time here at Bedford High Stadium with 6:13 to go.
Well, good to see Babotis back on the field to attempt that extra point. He looked a little tentative to me, but he was able to give it enough power to get it through the uprights. And Bedford hits the 50-point mark for the first time this season.
Yeah, you're right. They have not scored that many this year. Oh, Pinkerton is fighting their way back. They just made it 35-24. So what looked like a cakewalk there for the Lancers at halftime is now turning into a contest with the Lancers within 11. I'm sorry, the Astros within 11 points of the lead with a fourth quarter to go.
We mentioned Bedford getting to 50. They had 48 last week in a game that had a similar pattern where Goffstown scored first last Saturday, and then Bedford ran off 48 in a row. And here, Memorial went up 7-0 before Bedford scored 43 in a row. And now the teams have traded touchdowns here in the fourth quarter.
Well, I think the Babotis is not doing the kickoffs because Michael is back in there. So maybe he pulled something and can't get quite enough power. So Michael kicks it away. The ball goes to the 21-yard line where it's picked up by number 12, and he carries it all the way to the 37, 38-yard line. That is Jacob Calabro with the carry for Memorial. So a pretty good return of about 17, 18 yards, and Memorial will resume their play. They got a touchdown in their last drive. We'll see if they can answer the Bedford touchdown. They're trailing 50-14 with 5:48 to go here. Running time, fourth quarter here at Bedford High Stadium. And Josephic coming to the line of scrimmage. The quarterback from Memorial. He's under center with a man in motion. Winds up giving the ball to Blaze. He evades one tackler, gets about a 3-yard gain there, pushes the ball up to the 40-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
We got a late flag on the play. Officials conferring on near the far sideline.
They pick up the flag, and now they're waiting for a signal here. Actually, 2 flags on the field. Dead ball foul, personal foul on Bedford. Oh. Again, these unforced penalties. Oh, it's offsetting?
Offsetting, as
okay.
They called a dead ball personal foul against Memorial as well.
So probably some pushing and shoving after the play. Still, though, you don't want to see that. I'm sure Coach Matthews is going to say, look, if you don't respond, you would have pushed him back 15 yards. Instead, it all negates. So 2nd down and 8 for Memorial. Handoff inside, and a pickup of about a yard or two. Bryce Cody with the carry. Gets it up to the 42-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 7 here. Make that 6. 4:48 to go here. Under center, another passing play. The different quarterback that time was number 5, Braden Halfman. And a penalty flag on the play. It was kind of a sloppy play. He ran into it. He hands the ball off to his running back and runs right into it.
Yeah, they
But
collided in the backfield, but Bedford bails them out with that face mask.
so a face mask call here gives Memorial a first down. Another, not that it's going to affect the game here, but you just don't like seeing these penalties. You don't want to do anything to help the other guys out, and that gives Memorial a first down and puts them in Bedford territory at the 45-yard line, 1st and 10. So Halfman hands it off, and a pretty good run right there. Gain of about 6 yards, trying to get a number. Dale Stratton, another new runner for Memorial. They've been using a lot of them. They get it down to the 40-yard line. Gain of 5 yards. 2nd down and 5. Approaching the 4-minute mark here. 4 minutes remaining in the game. Now an inside handoff. Another good run. That time it was Cam McCara. And he gets the first down on that carry. Up to the 33-yard line, 1st and 10, 3:45 to play.
2 sustained drives in a row here for Memorial, but the
With
clock is their enemy as it ticks down to
Well, they're certainly
3.5
not going to
minutes
win.
to go.
But at least you can build on something like this to have 2 good drives to end the game. And there's a pitch back, and that almost blew up on them. Jacob Calabro had to fight to get back to the line of scrimmage and maybe gain a yard or 2. Seems like every time they try that pitch back, they're just inviting Bedford to tackle him in the backfield, and they almost did that time. Calabro was able to evade the tackle attempt here. He wound up getting 2 yards, 2nd and 8. Now 3 minutes to go. Clock is ticking. 2 receivers off to the right side, but a handoff. One's into his own man, winds up picking up a couple yards. Rob Fuller on the carry. Gets the ball to the 27, 26-yard line, so that's going to be about a 4-yard gain. Now I'm curious why they're back to that tight running formation after they ran a no huddle in a shotgun with extra receivers, and they were moving the ball. It's like they showed that play, now they put it back in the playbook, and they're back to what they were doing originally.
Yeah, my best guess is just that they have the sophomore backup in there now, Halfman.
That's a good point. So Halfman rolls out and throws the ball. It's off the fingertips of the receiver. Trying to get the number of the intended receiver. Number 11, was that? Will Clark? Or Calabro was the
number
intended
12.
receiver.
Yep, Calabro.
So we're in run time. The clock does not stop. It's 4th and 4 at the 27-yard line. Of course, Memorial will go for it here. So Halfman under center. Rolls out again to throw and drops the ball, picks it up again. He was being chased by a Bedford defender, tries to carry the ball, and he's tackled at the 26-yard line. That's going to be short, and Memorial will turn the ball over on downs. So that's going to do it. I imagine Bedford will probably just take the knee, go in victory formation here. The game is locked up. Clock is still running. We're coming up on 1:10 to go. 50-14. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank George Cox here, who's the TV producer and cameraman. Thank you very much for everything you do. Andrew Hansen, thank you very much for joining us on this broadcast. Love having you here. Don't forget, we're going to be bringing you action up from Gill Stadium next Friday. TV and radio game, 7:15 kickoff, Central Little Green. No, I don't know what how they did today. Trying to see who they had on their schedule today. Lost my notes. Anyway, we didn't have a score on them anyway, so we don't know what the record is right now. But that is the team we will be playing. That's going to be the last of the Division I North Conference games for Bedford. After the Central game, it's all going to be South Division opponents. And quite honestly, it's going to be the meat of the schedule because they're going to be playing Londonderry, Pinkerton, and Salem, which will be 3 very difficult opponents for the Bulldogs. So the teams return to the sideline, 1:05 to go. And it looks like victory formation here for the Bulldogs. All they got to do is kneel down twice to end this game. Green and the quarterback takes it, kneels it down. And here we go. Clock is under a minute now. 50-14. Do you happen to have notes on who scored the points? Can you give everybody a quick rundown while time is running out?
Yes, the first 3 touchdowns Bedford scored in that second quarter. The 48-yard touchdown pass to Tim Green. Then it was a 17-yard run by Mike Axton. Final touchdown of the first half was that 76-yard bomb to Solomon Sanchez. And coming out of halftime, Sanchez scored a 2-yard run in the third quarter. Green caught his second touchdown pass, a 24-yarder, make it 35-7. 2-point conversion went to Scaling on the pass. Grogan scored one from 1 yard out, and Axton ran in the 2-point conversion to make it 43-7. And the final touchdown for Bedford was an 83-yard pass to Joe Leary from Sean Green, and that got Bedford to an even 50 points here tonight.
Convincing victory after a slow start. 50-14 is the final. We'll see everybody back at Gill Stadium next week for the game against the Central Little Green. For Andrew Hansen, I'm Harry Kozlowski and George Cox. So long, everybody.